everyone, I bought the Wooble's Batman kit. I've made videos about the Woobles in the past. They're not the best for if you're an advanced crocheter, but they are really cute. I'm going to make the Batman, and I'm going to show you some ways to kind of upgrade how you make this Wooble. This assumes you know basic crochet stitches already and you're just looking to take your crocheting to the next level. If we look at the packaging, it's really clever. It looks like a comic. I sometimes get conflicted about this type of packaging because I don't want to throw it out, but I also don't want to keep it because I have nowhere to put it. It is really like high quality, very cute. It comes with the Joker, Batman, Harley Quinn, and some accessories. I'm going to start with Batman. So let's see what's in our box. Our yarn. There's the crochet hook hidden in the box. All right, so then this is package to get the instructions. This is our QR code, and then there's some pieces in here. The bat symbol, some washers, 2 washers for the back, a needle, and some more black yarn. We have our prepared magic circle here, which I am going to take apart and redo. The Wooble's crochet hook is too big, so even though these hooks are really cute, this is a 4mm. A 3.5 is the much better way to go. I'm not sharing the pattern, so please, if you're going to make this, you're going to have to purchase the pattern. I'm going to take this apart. And I'm not using the videos, so I'm not able to really comment on the videos. So the 2 areas I really want to focus on is clear color changes, and I want to fix the arms. I'm just going to make the head part until I get up to the section where I'm going to do the color changes. I'm up to round 8, which is the color changing round. I guess I would consider this like a 7.5 round. This doesn't count as round 8. We're going to do round 8 into what I'm going to do right now. Follow the stitch counts of round 8, but I'm going to do slip stitches all the way around in both colors, only into the back loop. And I know that this is black yarn, so it's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to do the slip stitches into the back loops. So I'm up to the last stitch for the black, and I'm going to do this last stitch with the beige. So I'm just going to do my color change on that 10th stitch, but it's still going to come out as black, like that. Just pull on this tail. It's going to be a little loose in the beginning, but it tightens up as you go along. Just let the black yarn hang behind. Don't drag it through. Don't do any kind of tapestry crochet. And now I'm going to do my slip stitches for the beige. I'm up to the second to last stitch. I'm going to drop the beige, but I've left my black yarn all the way back here, so I need to get that yarn back over here. I need to do this loosely, but not too loosely. I just let the yarn naturally hang across the back, and I kind of hold it against it so that it's the correct tension, because you don't want it to be too loose and you don't want it to be too tight. Just kind of hold that with your finger there. Tighten up this beige stitch, and then I'm going to do my slip stitch in the black, keeping that tension along the back. And then just make sure it's not too tight. You don't want any stitches to pucker. And then I'm going to continue with the black. And this is what it'll look like. You'll have this black bar going across the middle. Tighten these tails, but again, they will tighten up because we'll kind of crochet over these strands a little bit. So like I said, this did not count as a round. So now I'm doing round 8 for real. For the black, because there's no color change here, I'm going to do normal single crochets into those slip stitches. But when I get to the beige, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to go into both bars of the stitch, and I'm going to do my black stitches. So I'm up to the second to last stitch, which I just did in the normal black, and then I'm going to travel the beige from over here back to over here. So I'm going to do half the stitch in black, and you can go over, it's really hard to see, but I've got this bar here. I can go over that and it'll kind of secure everything down. You don't have to do that. I just like to do that sometimes. So travel this beige yarn back to complete that stitch. So we completed that black stitch. So now we're up to our beige, and I'm going to do my single crochets into the back loop only. You can go over this beige bar also if you want, but I'm going to do these only in the back loop. And I'm up to that second to last stitch, so I'm going to do half this stitch, and I'm going to go over the black tail here too, just to kind of bring it to the right spot. I'm going to do half of this in beige and then complete the stitch in black. And because I went over the tails, some of them aren't as visible, but again, this is an amigurumi, it's not terribly important. And you can see this really nice straight line between the two colors. Drop the beige behind and continue in the black, but I'm going to go through both loops because I don't need to have that round of slip stitches here. So I'm going to go through both loops of the slip stitch. And that's what we have. And then you continue following the pattern. You just go into these stitches the normal way now. You don't have to do any slip stitches or anything, and I'll show you when we're up to the next revision that I'm going to do. And that's what we have with our color changes. Now we're up to using our gray for the body part. When you make stripes, it creates these jogs, which are these big jumps in the color. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the black, and I'm just going to pull this tail up like that. Now I'm going to do the same process with the gray, with the round of slip stitches that I did with the other colors. So I'm just going to take out my stitch marker, insert the hook. I'm going to do my slip stitches all the way around in the back loop. And everything is always like a little loose and weird in the beginning, but it does all tighten up. So again, this does not count as a round. And I'm just going to do these slip stitches into the back loop all the way around up to the last stitch here where this tail is that I cut, and I'm just going to go into the back loop of this stitch too, and then do one last slip stitch in here, and that's going to kind of force everything to look a little smoother. So now I'm going to insert my hook into the middle of our slip stitch, and I want it to go through the back stitches as well. It just creates some stability. And this is the actual real round now. And again, I'm going to go into the middle of these slip stitches and just make sure you kind of go through all the back of that as also just create some stability. And I'm going to go around and I'm going to complete the gray portion of the pattern. And then I'll show you what this looks like. But you can see already it's a very smooth transition between the two colors instead of one color seeping into the next one. And I'm just coming to the end of the round here. These very clean color changes. And the jog that I was talking about in the back is very minimal now, whereas usually it would be like a big jump from one color to the next. It's not possible to completely eliminate a jog, but you can get rid of a lot of it. And so now I'm just going to continue making the pattern. I'm up to the last stitch. I cut the tail, pull this out, And then you're going to attach the black. I'm not going to do this technique with the black because the belt needs to be surface crocheted across it and you're not going to see the color delineation either way. And this just shows you the difference between not doing this technique and doing this technique. You can see the gray bleeds through, but again, we're not going to see it because of the yellow belt. Your surface crochet before you stuff it, otherwise you're going to be pulling stuffing out and it's impossible to get out of your stitches. See, and because we use the smaller crochet hook, stuffing is not as visible. There's something about this Wooble's yarn that the stuffing always like shows through, but with the 3.5 I feel like it looks a lot better. So here is the Batman. I did everything. I'm just up to the arms. This is the arm that I came up with, which I think looks neater than the original pattern. Arm was actually the motivation for making this entire video. I just didn't really care for that part. So here we go. So part of this is going to follow the original pattern, 6 single crochet into the magic ring. Then do 2 single crochets, increase, 2 single crochets, increase. And then single crochets all the way around. Cut the yarn, pull this tail just straight out. And then we're going to do the same color changing technique that we have been doing. So grab the gray and just in the next stitch from what we just pulled, you're going to go into the back loop and we're going to slip stitch around. And then through the back loop, we're going to do single crochets all the way around, try to get through the whole layer of stitches there. Chain 1 and then flatten the 2 sides together so 3 stitches are lined up across from each other. Put your hook into both stitches, yarn over, and do 3 single crochets across to flatten out the cylinder. 2, and then the last one, 3, and that's it. That's the arm. Cut a long tail so you can sew it, fasten this off, and weave in these ends. And there's the arms sewn on. I think they look really good. And then just the last part, which is the bat symbol. I did not use the washer. I actually very rarely use washers because I don't like how it causes a lot of puckering on the opposite side. And I just take a very small amount of glue just around the post right there. You don't need a lot. And then squish that back down. But if you only use glue, just bear in mind this is not for kids or pets. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned some new techniques. I hope you were able to kind of upgrade your Wooble a little bit. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Bye-bye.